Here we are again, Scott. Let's mix things up. Start me off with the personnel situation. Have you got any good news on the personnel front? I know there was a couple of sort of borderline ones last week.
No, we are where we are currently. So practically everyone fully fit. No one coming back into it at this present moment in time. So we're the same as where we have been, really.
I know you talked about Lyle Foster last week, and there was a bit of uncertainty about the extent of the issue. Have the medical people done their magic? Do you know a bit more what the situation is?
We feel like we are, yeah. So we had some good news around Lyle. We're hoping that we will see him again before the end of the season, really. Maybe as quick as over the next couple of games. So again, we're at the back end of the season. Lyle's in a frame of mind where he wants to get back as well. We'll see. We'll slowly push him. We pushed him a little bit today. See how he comes out of that. So we'll take it gradual with him. But from the initial worry, while it's still a biggish injury, it's stable, and it might be something that if Lyle can tolerate. Still a big ask, don't get me wrong, but we'll see where our Lyle progresses with that, really.
How much does that sum up what you need from players sometimes? Maybe not so much as when you were playing or when you were an apprentice, when I'm sure players were doing it all the time, but above and beyond.
Yeah, definitely. Look, I don't think there's probably many of the players really, and that's an exception, obviously, Lyle in terms of where he is and the current injury he's got. But there's not many times you run out as a professional athlete and you are at even 90%, and you have to go through certain pain barriers, and you have to put your body through that. And of course, it's our job, and it's the lad's job. But for sure, there's definitely a trait there in terms of going above and beyond for a cause, which is always helpful.
That commitment, I guess, is one factor, one thing that you need. What else do you ask of your players? Do you ask of anything different with the run-in with 4 games to go that you would with 42 games to go?
No different really. Look, like anything, I think we're at the stage of this season where, for me, there's probably three key things, and one is belief, one's a clear focus, and a real togetherness. Now, this team, we believe in everything that we've built, and we believe in everything that we do. Focus-wise, we've been focused throughout this year in terms of game after game and moments. And probably the biggest thing for this group is sticking together and being together. And that will be the key rider from now until the end. That's been the key message throughout this year. And they will still be the key things leading into the back end of this year, really.
Inevitable question about having done it before. Do you recognise all those things in this group that you've seen in previous groups that you've been successful with?
I recognise every bit of it. Yeah, I recognise every bit of it. There's familiar traits, there's familiar personalities, there's familiar quality. And for sure, even there's certain elements of this squad that excel previous experiences that I've had, really. And look, I can speak with an experience and an understanding of what you need at this moment in time, and the 3 things what I've described there, they are exactly that. And we've had every bit of that, and I have absolutely no doubt we'll continue to have every bit of that to get us through to the final push now.
You mentioned excelling there. We're at the time of year now, obviously when things are decided, but obviously the season as it comes to a close, we're in awards nomination season. The EFL Awards announced their shortlists. A couple of your players in Trafford and Egan Riley are nominated. They've been excelling, clearly. Some chap called Parker's been nominated for Manager of the Year as well. Is this the time of year where things get recognised that have been going on all season?
Well, it's definitely the time of year when things get recognised. It's probably irrelevant for me, to be quite honest with you, and it's probably an irrelevance to me in terms of the players. Now, of course, there's an incredible recognition in terms of that, and as an individual for them players that have been highlighted, of course it is, but there's one award or there's one thing you want at the end of this season, and it's not no personal awards or personal accolade, really. So while them show a commitment, they show the quality that individuals have had throughout this season. I guarantee you every single one of them players will be echoing them same words, that the most important thing is us trying to get to the end of this and being successful, really.
I wanted to ask you about Marcus Edwards, actually, a little bit on that note. I saw him being talked about in the national media this week, and there was a bit of talk, speculation in the media about the standard that he's at and where else could he play and could he do it in the Premier League. That's obviously a huge compliment. It must be a pain for you that people are talking about a player that you've brought to the club, but does it go with the territory? If you want to achieve success, people are going to notice your players.
Oh yeah, 100%. We had that at the beginning of the season, didn't we? So, and you always have that if you've got quality and you're a team that are producing what we've produced over the course of this year. Of course, you're going to have players that are attractable to other clubs. We're in a profession where there's a window that opens twice a year as well. So again, speculation or hearsay, I see exactly the same, and it doesn't surprise you one bit. Marcus, you mentioned, I see it with others in the squad as well, really. So, yeah.
Just on Marcus specifically, is it a coincidence that since he came in, you seem to have been more able as a group to open teams up, kind of make things happen? Has he got traits that are suited, complementary maybe to what you already had in there?
Yeah, definitely. I think that's probably fair to say. I think, look, Marcus has brought a quality in the final third for us. He scored some goals. He attracts players. Opposition now are obviously wary in terms of attracting 2 or 3, and we open up spaces elsewhere. He's got individual quality as well. Hence why we brought him here, and I fully understood what Marcus would bring to us and us as a team, and I knew he'd enhance us. So yeah, he's definitely been a large part. I think the whole team as well, to be fair. I thought our general improvement in the final third and us as an attacking force has improved no end. Our intent in terms of us understanding what we've been working on as well, I think I've seen it in first hand over the last few weeks, really. So while Marcus has added that, I do think there's as a group and as a team, our general structure in terms of us attacking has improved massively.
Feels like a big weekend, this. For some reason, Friday and Monday over Easter feels really hectic and really significant, even though it's the same as playing Saturday and Tuesday. What is it about these big public holiday weekends?
Yeah, big games. And I think you're right. I think that it seems like as if they come really quick, but when you put it in the way when it's the other way around, it's probably not as big. Look, all I can say is that we are absolutely relishing this opportunity. We are excited, enthusiastic for everything that we're coming up to, and that starts on Friday with an absolute massive game for us away from home, where we'll go there like we have done for large parts this year, and go there with a fully commitment and try and get a result. Full focus then will come on Monday, really. So yeah, we're excited about where we are, where we're currently sitting, and excited about the opportunity that may arise for us.
You've put yourself in an incredibly good position from your own endeavours, and we've spoken enough that you say, we're only concentrating on us and I'm not bothered about the league table, and I completely understand that. Is the message just keep that position as strong as possible, go to Watford, get the 3 points, and if that means we can do something on Monday, so be it?
No, the message is focus on Friday. Focus on Friday, let everything else take care of itself. And that is the key message. Don't worry about down the line. I know we're four games out. It's an absolute irrelevance for us. This is we've stuck to a mantra this year, which has been pivotal in terms of us being very clear and very precise in what we do. We've had a laser focus about us, which is every single game that arises, we fully commit to that. We box it off and move on. So I get the different scenarios or what could happen, what couldn't happen. Absolute irrelevance, and that message is loud and clear to this group. So full focus, laser focus on Friday now.
How easy is it in practice to do that with a group of largely young guys who live in a world that is different to the one that we grew up in? I think one of your predecessors in that chair used to talk about blocking out the outside noise. How do you actually go about stopping them getting carried away? I suppose you want them to be excited, but not thinking about 2-3 games down the line.
And that's a huge challenge now. That's a big challenge for modern day, and certainly big challenges for coaches, really, because what the platforms are available to players and the news outlets and people wanting to need to fill stories or memes or clips of whatever it is can flood into one so young's brain, I suppose, is me really. I need to be dominant in what I'm saying. I need to be very consistent and precise in what I'm saying, and hope that my words gravitate a lot more than any outside noise, really. And that's my job, and I'm always conscious of that, really. So I'm very demanding in that. I'm constantly reminding the players with different techniques and how I do that. But yeah, so it's certainly, as a coach nowadays, it's one you've got to try and balance and one you've got to be aware of, and I'm fully aware of that, really.
I've asked you before about being in dad mode, I think. Do you have to be a bit boring sometimes?
Yeah, I probably do. I try and get a balance. I try and get a balance with a group. I understand what young men are like. I've got four sons of my own, so I'm fully aware of where young men are and what they're exposed to this day and age, and how maybe attitudes and certain behaviours have changed for sure. And maybe that is the case. Maybe sometimes the players may feel that, but that's my responsibility. And I say it's my responsibility. It's always what I believe in. It's my experiences what have led me to this position to know that it is the right way to go. And that's why I sell that with real conviction, because it's something that I hold truly in terms of understanding what it needs to look like to be successful, really. So I try and relay that message constantly.
And I guess they all want to be in the Premier League. You want to be in the Premier League. There's a very, very realistic prospect of that happening. That is clearly a motivation. Is that a line to tread between concentrate on the next game, but the bigger picture is that's where we want to be come August?
Of course, yeah. You need them ambitions were... Our objective at the start of the season was exactly that. And we put ourselves in an incredible position to do that. Every single player, owners, people working at the football club, players, myself, coaching staff, we all want to be in the Premier League. That's where we want to go as a football club. Individually, as a team and as a whole organisation, that's exactly where we want to be. And that's the aim, to try and get there. To get there, there's been 9 months or 10 months now of hard work, commitment, a passion, a desire, at times some ups and some downs along that journey. And we need to stay fully focused on exactly what we've done to this point to get us to where we need to get to, really.
And just some thoughts on Watford. I guess this is going to be a challenge, just like every one of the other ones.
Yeah, it'll be a challenge. A good side. Tom's done a good job in there as well. So as always, and it'll be going away from home. Of course, we're going to need to bring some ingredients to this game. We're in a great place, and no doubt that we can cause Watford problems. But on the flip side, they've got qualities in their side that, if we're just a little bit off where we need to be, the vice versa can happen, really. So we'll be fully tuned in, prep, and get a game plan ready to try and execute on Friday.
Lovely, thank you.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you. Hi, Scott.
Hi.
Just one from me. So you've got the best away record in the league this season. What's been the key to that?
Consistency has been key in terms of our behaviours, in terms of the way we've gone about things. Of course, maybe away from home, in certain moments, has suited us at certain times. But yeah, I think, whether it's away from home or even at home, we've been incredibly consistent with the way we've gone about it. Very routine. I think every single player understands what's expected of them, and you see consistent behaviours away from home and at home. Really, it's give us a platform and a foundation to win games or be in games constantly, really. So long may that continue, albeit only 4 more and 2 away to come, but hopefully that is still the case.
Thank you.
Cheers, pal.